Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Emerson. Today I want to share with you a sketchbook that I recently finished. I actually think this is one of my longest sketchbooks that I've kept that was just like a normal kind of sketchbook. Like sometimes I keep a painting sketchbook where it's like a genuine like watercolor sketchbook and then I only use paint in there, so it takes me forever because I use it way less often. But I always have one sketchbook that's like my main thing that I'm doing all of my pencil work in, and one of those has never taken me as long as this took me. I think I spent a year and a half drawing in it. I started it in February of 2021 and then I finished it in either like July or August of this year, 2022. And it makes sense because I was working in a really different way than I've ever worked, and I was really focused on making a lot of finished stuff. So at a certain point in here we end up seeing a lot of stuff that's just like pre-planning kind of work. As for the sketchbook itself, this is an Elo sketchbook and this is my first time working in one of these, and I honestly really liked it. I felt like it was really spacious and the paper felt really nice, and it made me a little bit sad that I wasn't doing more stuff in color and with different mediums, but sometimes that's just how it is. And I always cover them in stickers, so I will put all of the artists who made these stickers on the screen. I think this might be one of my favorite covers that I've put together. I really like the way that everything looks together. So with all of that out of the way, let's get into it. I wrote absolutely nothing on this page. This first page over here is kind of a random stream of consciousness thing, and I actually remember that I did this on a TikTok live, which I have not done very many of in my life, so that's kind of an interesting decision that I made there. This one right here is a study and the others are just kind of random. These sketches over here were actually going to be little clay pins that I wanted to make, and I started to make them, but then I got really sick after I had already sculpted them and they were like sitting to dry because I used air dry clay, and I got really sick. I think I was out for like over a week and I was just so out of it, and then once I recovered I did not feel like continuing them, so rest in peace the little clay pins. I really like this sketch over here, and this was an idea for a composition that I had, and the rest is just kind of random. Over here I did a few sketches of Marceline. I think this was after we watched the Adventure Time special that she was in when she was like younger, and she had this different outfit on and I thought it was really cute. And I actually really want to sit down and make some more Adventure Time fan art, but I have not gotten around to that. But I think this little one here is so cute, and I loved that outfit that she wore in that special. These were some little sketches for Mermay, and this one actually inspired a piece of digital art that I went on to make, and then I had it as stickers in my shop for a while. For my birthday last year, I bought myself a little set of color changing pencils, and then I bought this book that had a bunch of figure drawing references in it, and I thought that they would work together nicely and I could do like some colorful pencil figure studies. There are a couple of those in here. This little crow I did in pen. I honestly really like that. Another little rainbow figure study, and then some random stuff as per usual. This was a rainbow pencil study, and I did it from a flower book that I bought, and I believe this sketch was the first iteration of this painting that I made that I have as prints in my shop now, and it's actually one of my more popular prints. And this is a bunch of the other pre-sketches that I did for it, kind of working out the pose, and then I was thinking about what I wanted them to wear because they're both wearing like lingerie. And this one was from a reference, kind of unrelated but also kind of related. This spread is really fun. This is one of the few that I did where I kind of put a little bit more thought into like the overall spread and filling in more of the little gaps. This one was a study in Color Ace pencil, and this one was just colored pencil, and then some colored pens, a little bit more colored pencil. Nothing really of significance here though. These are some studies from Pinterest that I did over here. I think I was focusing more on the dresses and the way that they moved because I wanted to do more stuff with dresses because I'm not very experienced in them. And during this sketchbook I was working on learning more about fabric and different kind of clothing so that I could be able to draw that more often. This one's a little alcohol marker portrait that I did, and then this one was a little sketch that I liked, and I think I actually took it and I put it into Procreate, and then I did an illustration on top of it, like using this as the sketch, but I didn't put much time into it, and I don't really like how that one turned out that much. This was like covering a weird little crease that came in the sketchbook when I got it, so it's kind of random, but that's why it's there. And most of the stuff over here were studies, except for like this, and I really liked this one after I made it. This was a pre-sketch for a painting that I started and I still have never finished. And this was an idea for a painting that I had, and I think I wanted to use it for something, like maybe end up turning it into like my business cards or something, but I did not end up making that. And then I was restarting my Patreon and kind of changing the way that I did things so that I would have monthly themes, and this was the pre-sketching for the first piece for that, along with some ideas that I had for future themes. Also, I like this sketch. These are kind of some random sketches and a bunch of teapots from references, and during this sketching session when I was doing this ended up turning into the idea for the illustration that I did that turned into an acrylic charm that I had for a while in my shop. And I think that was actually one of my most popular acrylic charms, and sometimes people ask me about it sometimes, and I really want to restock those at some point soon when I'm able to. And then all of these sketches are ideas that I was having and trying to figure out for some different merch that I was making, and this one turned into the other acrylic charm that I made during this shop update. And this was the last official pre-sketch for that second acrylic charm that I just mentioned. I honestly enjoy a couple of the things on this page. I really like this one. These were some little food studies that I did from pictures on Pinterest. This one was really quick and from a reference on Pinterest of a little dollhouse, because I kind of wanted to do some stuff with like a little house, but I did not end up pursuing that. Looks like we have a few more mermaid things over here, or maybe just mermaids. I don't know if May ended yet. This is like the only thing that I stuck in here. As you can tell, this sketchbook is not very like focused on the sketchbook itself, and it's not like very cohesive or anything, but it's a little My Melody tag from something that I got from probably from the Sanrio website. And then these are some pre-sketches for the witch illustration that I did last year. This entire spread I was working on planning out my Halloween collection from last year that I did for Monster Market. So we have the pre-sketches that I turned into the actual illustrations, which would be this one, and this one. And then a couple more Halloween ideas over here, and this one I also turned into a sticker. And these are all some little studies that I did in a Prismacolor Color Ace pencil. This is a little piece of washi tape from the first run that I did of this design, and then I changed manufacturers and I came back to this page later and I put in a little swatch of the new run of that design. And these were pre-sketches for an illustration that I did do. I used watercolors mostly for this piece, and it is still currently a print in my shop. These were all sketches that I did for another Patreon month, and the theme was mushrooms, and this is pretty much what the sticker was, and this is pretty much what the print was. Actually, I think this one is more similar to what the sticker turned into. And this is another just little thumbnail that I did for a Posca piece that I made. I believe here I was thinking about an illustration that I wanted to make, but I didn't end up making. And then this was some color swatching for another Posca piece that I did. Over here I was swatching some new Posca colors that I bought, and I was really excited about them. I honestly still haven't used them that much since I don't use Poscas very often, but I always want to use Poscas more. I think they're so much fun. And the rest of this looks like random stuff where I might have been thinking about an illustration, but I don't believe I made anything out of these. And it's already time for another Patreon month of designs. You can kind of tell how often I was working in the sketchbook during this little middle period. I was not coming to it super often. I was really focused on a lot of other things. But yeah, these are some ideas for the month where the theme was witch or witchy or something like that. These are some sketches for my enamel pin design. I actually have one near me, so I'll show you that right now. This is how that turned out. I personally really like these, and this is still my only enamel pin design that I've made, and I love enamel pins so much. This was so exciting for me to create, and I would really love to make some more enamel pins whenever I'm able to. I actually never noticed until I was flipping through this sketchbook the other day that I flipped the design. I had no idea that I did that. Here are a few more sketches where I was thinking about products that I would have manufactured for my shop. So these are a few more thinking about the enamel pin, and then these were some ideas that I was having for stuff like sticky notes and washi tapes, and I was imagining making some other products as well, but I did only end up making the sticky notes and washi tapes. And in these sections I was kind of brainstorming different motifs that I could use for patterns and stuff like that. And then we have a ton of random stuff that I believe has no correlation to pretty much anything, but it is here. These are some pre-sketches for a painting that I did with gouache. It was more of just a personal painting, and it is now also prints in my shop. I feel like I keep saying the same thing over and over because that's kind of what I was doing during this period of the sketchbook, but I do like how the painting of this ended up turning out. Some more stuff that's kind of random here. I think in this section I was thinking about possibly some tattoo flash that I was trying to design, but I never ended up finishing. This is a little sketch of Princess Peach. I believe at this point I was trying to start sketching more often and doing stuff that was not just thumbnails and whatnot. I enjoy this little face here also, and I was thinking about some paintings here. And then for more of this, I was thinking about what I would do for the next month of Patreon. I think this was December, and I really struggled to figure out what I wanted to do for the theme, but I ended up doing like winter angels or something, I think. And then one of them was a little bunny. And this was a really brief thumbnail for the monthly calendar, or no, sorry, the yearly calendar that I made before 2022 started. And then at this point, I got in the washi tapes that I sent off. I feel like there must have been a really big time jump just then because I think this is another Patreon sketch for a different month. So maybe I was wrong that I started to try to start sketching more at that point. Maybe it has not happened yet. But here are some studies in a red Col-Erase pencil. And some more studies, all of these in my trusty Col-Erase pencils. I really like the way that all of these look together. Some more sketches. I feel like I was thinking about something that ended up turning into something, but I have no idea what that might have been. I really enjoy this little sketch over here, and I think this face is kind of cute. And then we have some studies in pen where I did not do any pencil stuff on this page at all before going in with the pen. And over here I was thinking about drawing different expressions, but there were no references. I'm not very good at doing those things, but I do really like all of these. Some more stuff that's just all over the place. I think this one and this one are studies, and I think this one was a sketch that I was doing while I was thinking about a commission that I was working on. And over here we have a little character in alcohol markers, which for some reason reacted really weird to this specific page. Like, I don't know if it's because it was like the back of the page or something. Like, I don't know, it turned out kind of weird, but I enjoyed working on that. Oh, and then here I was thinking about punch needle designs that I would make, and this turned into one of the bigger punch needle designs that I've done. And a dog that I think I sketched while I was working on a commission, which had that specific type of dog. And then these were some sketches for the Valentine's paintings that I made. This was me thinking about the idea for a new little sticker that I was trying to make that I would put on my packaging. And I think I ended up going with the words, "Your package has arrived." And these are some little rainbow pencil studies. We've got a few studies over here, and then it looks like I was thinking a little bit more about the poses for the Valentine's paintings, and then some more punch needle ideas. More figure studies, and these were some plans for the Patreon art that I believe was for February because the theme was Cupid, and I really liked working on those. These were some of my ideas for his tattoos that I would put on as well. We've got some fun little demons over here, and then some random little pen doodles. And then over here, I put in swatches of my washi tape from my manufacturer, because the first ones that I got, which are labeled old here, so this one and this one, I felt like the colors were too dark, and I felt like they looked kind of muddy and just not that great. And like especially this one, the yellow did not look yellow at all in the background, and you can't really tell as much on camera, but to me there was a big difference. So I got them to redo it, and then they made these ones that I've labeled new here, and I do think those looked a lot better. But honestly, I think if I were to manufacture these, I probably wouldn't go to the same people, but I probably won't need to manufacture them again for a very long time because of how many I ended up with from the redo. So the old ones are available as B grades in my shop. And then here are some sketches for the next batch of acrylic charms that I did, and these are also for a different month of Patreon. These are even more merch design sketches, and this turned into the tote bag design that I just recently made, as well as some stickers that I just recently made. I mean, it feels recent, but to be fair, I think it was a couple months ago now. Looks like right here I was having some more thoughts and ideas about like different poses and stuff to go with. And then this was a quick little pre-sketch for a portrait study that I did in acrylics. Over here were some Patreon sketches again, and the theme for this month was Celestial, I believe. And then this was the first little sketch that I did for one of the most recent paintings that I've done. It was the most recent big painting that I've done. It took me quite a few hours, and it was in acrylics, and I really like the way that that piece turned out. This was a little study from Pinterest, and then a little flower study, and this looks like the last sketch that I did before I went on to the illustration that I made into this acrylic charm, and also sticker, and also print. I really like this sketch over here that I did with alcohol markers, and then I was working on some other designs. I actually sketched this page in my last studio vlog, and I wanted to make some more illustrations. I was thinking about doing another pronoun pin line, and then I wanted to make some bookmarks as well. And I'm still really interested in these ideas, but none of them ended up coming to fruition yet. Some stuff here that was just for fun. These are some figure studies, and then these are the last pre-sketches that I did for that painting that I mentioned. That was my most recent bigger one. Also, I like this face. Some random stuff here where it looks like I was thinking about something. I feel like this turned into something maybe, but I'm not sure. And then in this spread we have some studies over here, and then I was thinking about a painting that I really want to do soon that has kind of this like swampy vibe. I don't know, you'll see if I ever end up making it. And then on this spread I was working on some plans for this year's Monster Market, which are some very recent illustrations that I've done, and I actually haven't shared any of these yet because I'm waiting until we're a little bit closer to when they're going to launch, but these are going to be prints and stickers and pins in my shop very soon for Halloween this year. I think these were a few stragglers from that last spread where I was thinking about Halloween designs, and then these were for... Hi! Hello! How's it going? But anyway, these are some sketches from one of the most recent Patreon months. I actually just today finished the ones for the current month that I'm recording this in. These were the last ones, and they were for the theme Serpent. And I believe that is everything in here. I just swatched some markers on that last page, and that concludes this sketchbook. So yeah, that's everything I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. In between this sketchbook and the last sketchbook tour that I did, I actually had another sketchbook that I only filled up halfway, and then I decided that I hated it and I wanted to start something different. So then I started working in this, which is another reason that there's so much time between my last official sketchbook and this one. But if you're interested in seeing that sketchbook, definitely let me know. I might make a little video out of that. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed seeing this sketchbook, even though there wasn't a lot in here that was very fancy. Thank you for spending a little bit of time with me. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video. Leave me a comment letting me know what you thought. Subscribe if you'd like to see more, and I will see you next time. Bye!